Coming up in this episode, after a wet day job was handed to me at work, it was evident we had a rat problem. That led to a night out with my good friend Dewayne from the Wash Wildfowler Field Sports YouTube channel to go and clear up a few. This is ratting with air rifles, and this is Team Foxer. So we've got a wet day at work and we've got a big shed to clear out. There's some spilt seed here and this place stinks of rats. We've heard a few over the back here. So we're going to clear out a fair bit of this seed, but hopefully we'll leave a little bit here. The boss says I can come back and have a crack with my air rifle, see if we can reduce the numbers before we put some poison down. Let's see how we get on. You could see from the visible footprints, and you could certainly tell from the smell, these rats had been here a little while. Upon removing some of the pallets, you could see just how much damage they'd caused. Once we'd got the pallets out of the way, shoveling up the vast majority of the spilt seed, whilst wearing my PPE of course, I was mindful that we needed to leave some behind if we wanted to be able to shoot them. The other thing I wanted to do was prop up some pallets so that they'd feel safe while still feeding. So I've left it like this. Plenty of room to sit over here, although to be fair there is several rat holes where that bit of wood is. And I've propped up a couple of pallets. I've actually seen them down here already. So I've moved all that stuff up so we can see underneath them pallets, and I've propped this box up as well. So you can sit back here against this wall. You can see here where they've dug out. All along here, fairly fresh as well. But sit here and a decent line all the way along the back there, where I think it's likely we'll see some. There's still plenty of seed in here, and there's still plenty on the floor down here in front of where we'll hopefully be shooting them. So I'll pop back later, give it a bit of a recce, and see what it's like. We've just arrived at the barn. I don't know if you can hear me, it's blowing an absolute hoolie. Just open the door a tiny bit. We're going to peek in with the Hype Raptor thermal, see how many rats are about. Let's have a look. So this is later that same evening. That wet weather gave way to a storm that would locally claim the lives of several large trees in the area. But all that ambient noise from the storm meant I could stand there and film without the scaly tails even hearing or noticing I was there. I couldn't believe how many were out, and I can't wait to get back here with my gun. So I've just had a very quick look through the doors of the barn with the thermal at night time. It's blowing an absolute gale tonight. So the plan is to come back with Dewayne tomorrow night and have an assault on these rats. I was quite surprised to see quite a few there, having us been in there today and moved everything around. But as you could see, I opened the doors and stood there and filmed it with a thermal. Got a little bit of footage with a camcorder as well. Didn't batter an eyelid. So hopefully tomorrow we can probably bag ourselves, I don't know, 20 or so. I'll be quite happy with that. But we'll fast forward to tomorrow night with Dewayne, and I'll see you then. Cheers for now. Well, what a contrast in evenings. The very next night you could hear a mouse fart. But having sent some footage to Dewayne, he was just as keen as I to get there. Both of us will be using the Air Arms Xtra FAC air rifle in .22 caliber. Dewayne's running the Pulsar C50 day-night scope along with the Odepro KL52 IR torch. I'm running the same infrared illuminator on mine, but instead of the Pulsar scope I'll be using the ATN Xsight 4K Pro. With it being so quiet weather-wise, and even though we were being very quiet ourselves, clearly we'd scared them off for a short while. While Dwayne went to go and get a fresh battery for his IR torch, I saw my first movement with the thermal spotter. Having briefly checked 0 in the garden before heading out, I knew that closer than 20-yard rats would be just below the central dot. This rat clearly appreciating my time spent on the range beforehand, as he gives me a little wave. As Twinkle Toes comes in from outside with all the kit he now needs to get started, I spot rat number 2, shining like a beacon of light in the thermal. The high quality detailed image on the ATN scope there, even showing you the pellet mark on the pallet of wood there behind that rat. You may be mistaken for thinking it was a miss at first, but it was a definite headshot. So Mr. Twinkle Toes has sat down now. He's got all of his kit. It's about time he started ratting. For anybody watching new to ratting, it's perfectly normal to head shoot a rat and then to thrash around for a few seconds as the electrodes fire off on the nervous system and the rat shuts down. I'm just eyeing up another rat here as Dwayne takes aim and beats me to it. I was just eyeing him up. On this next clip here, you can just see my IR beam passing into view here through Dwayne's scope as he takes out another one in a very narrow gap. Great shooting, mate. I love that little bit of helicopter tail. It never gets boring. I held off on this one because I didn't want to shoot the hydraulic lines. I lose sight of that one, but I eventually find this one bang on my 0 at 20 yards. Using the rangefinder on the binos both during the session and crucially beforehand while sighting in the rifle at home, this enabled me to be very confident in either shooting above, hold over, or straight at the target, as in this case. Dwayne whispered that there was one on top of the box in front of me. Now I can see the one I just shot on the floor on the left as his mate comes to see why Dave's laying down on the job, and I get ready to take the one off the box. This one being closer requires hold over. Reloaded fairly sharpish just in case that one was scooching around at the back again, but it wasn't. That said, it was only a few minutes later and he's back. A nice little break dance there from Roland. Meanwhile, Dwayne's busy threading the needle. You can just see the rat here in between the two potato boxes, but the IR concentrated beam just whites it out that little bit too much. This here from Dewayne is a great demonstration of both patience and accuracy and timing. That one just not quite giving me the opportunity. The good thing with the thermal footage here is you can still see the heat source on the rats well after they've been shot, as I managed to capture this one getting shot by Dewayne. That one's got serious disco fever. Spotting this rat on top with the thermal, I was just getting ready to take a shot when Dewayne beat me to it once again, but looking at the slow-mo through Dwayne's scope, the rat just lifts its head up as he takes the shot. 10 points for the jump though, mate, that was good. Four from four. All of a sudden, we've gone from Twinkle Toes into the Rat Whisperer. Not sure what he was trying to do. Now, looking back at the footage of that rat, it actually pinned it through the lungs. It was going to expire on the floor, but just a quick focus ring, and he sticks one straight through the Swede to ensure of a quick dispatch. They are rats, but they still deserve to die humanely. Ooh, did he miss? Did he miss? Did he, Eckers like? Alright then, mate. We'll get picked up, shall we? Yeah. Let's go and have a look at some of these berthas, shall we? Mate, this one here is a little fatty. This back corner, I'll drop one in here, didn't I? Oh well. Oh yeah, he's down in there. That's the one I shot off this corner here. But there's four here. I'm just going to get that out of the way. Christ, a little diddler. Oh my god. I've got a little diddler and then I've got Gigantor over here.
Where's the one that fell in the box?
Is it right in there? I'm gonna get my grabber out. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go and get my grabber. Well, I've got my brand spanking new grabber, which I've forgotten to take out with me on a few occasions, but oh my goodness. Look at the shot placement on this. The one we had off of here. Look at that. Absolutely took his brains out.
Well, do you know what? I've done a lot of ratting over the years. This wasn't the biggest bag in the world, but nevertheless, out with one of your best mates, doing what you love, it was very enjoyable. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, stay safe, and as always, happy shooting.